I'm kind of sad that I haven't been able to do the Google Reads, even though they don't seem to be very much of a hit. That's okay. I'm going to keep doing them, but because I don't have any storage left on my phone, and I do have like 3 that I need to go through and do. I just haven't had the time. But I do have to say I did draw or pencil in some cards today before I got on right now. I was thinking I was going to go to bed early and then start my day off sooner, but I have not. We've got a sinkhole showing up. Like the bottom is dropping out for somebody in their situation. It could be due to the Most High, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, depending on what it is that you believe. It could also have something to do with the mind, body, and soul. Plus the potato, plus the ground. Interesting that the potatoes are a, I just drew that today. I'm like, how come I haven't drawn it and it's super easy to draw? I feel like I'm missing out on a light here, but whatever. Just seems so dark. The potato, and we have the sinkhole. So whatever roots that someone's been trying to grow, whatever grounding someone's been trying to do, it's part of the sinkhole. Maybe they took the roots out and so it caused a sinkhole for someone. Maybe someone was doing, if we're going off our previous story, maybe someone was doing some kind of spell work and they were doing root work and they tried to reverse it and it caused a sinkhole and the whole bottom dropped out for somebody. Like the floor just, right? And maybe it happened to 3 people at once. Plus the grounding. I don't know. It's like now you see it, now you don't. We've got the umbrella. Maybe it's happening to a whole corporation. Maybe someone got to the root of a matter, the root of the matter regarding some kind of umbrella company. Or trying to find out how someone is being protected from the elements. And they figured that out now. They figured it out that it's the Most High who's protecting. Hopefully, if they understand that it's Most High protecting somebody, that they get it through their heads that they probably should stop being the type of person that they've been being if it has to do with spell work. I mean, y'all know how I feel about that. I feel it's totally cheating. But we all have our own choices to make, right? We've got plus still there. And you can see I decided to go back to my plastic, but I think maybe I could just leave it up like this for simplicity. Does it close? It closes. Maybe that's what I'll have to just do instead of, well, no, because then I'm in the same scenario. When I put the cards in, they get shoved inside the envelopes. So that's not going to work. All right, so the bottom of the deck is our integrity card. Is it for sale? This one says it was for sale. Someone sold their integrity. They sold themselves out. They accepted some kind of price for whatever it was. You guys do realize that money like disappears like that, right? So for you to sell your integrity to get something that completely disintegrates, you got to think about that. We've got braids. Someone could have braids. Someone could be trying to weave something together. I tried to draw that one and it didn't work out because I'm not great at braids. We have salmon swimming upstream. Maybe someone's trying to work hard. Maybe it's just, you know, the way it is. I mean, you got to work hard for anything worth having, right? We've got the number 7, spiritual number. Could be the month of July. The search for hidden truth. Signifies the seeker, wisdom, introspection, philosopher, analyst, the day of rest, spiritual fulfillment, a divine cycle, spiritual awareness, perfection. I guess perfection actually happened on day 6, and then the 7th day was the day of rest. Partnerships and marriage. Well, that would be fitting if they have a salmon swimming upstream in order to be able, I mean, the salmon swim upstream in order to give birth to something. So someone could be trying to weave together some kind of relationship, since we have the partnership card here. And then we've got the mushroom, someone being put on a pedestal. That's what I wanted to write on here. Because usually the mushroom's considered a pedestal, I believe. And so I kept hearing the word pedestal, pedestal. And I was going to make a card for pedestal, but I already have a pedestal and it's right here. So psychedelic, mind altering, fairy tales, the good bacteria, nature, increase, spreads, develops rapidly, a plume of smoke from an explosion. So maybe someone's going to try to have some kind of romantic romance come in, that they're going to try to send it in and, oh, I just love you so much, all of a sudden, out the blue. We've got the potato coming back. Make sure you stay grounded should this appear. The American condor again. Native American, master of the spirit, connected to ancestors, healing the sick, balancing harmony, solar, lunar eclipse, time view, and then a high altitude view. The master of spirit. Potato, potato, however you say it, right? So maybe this person has that background. Maybe someone's going to come in and appear like they're like this spiritual being. Well, that's ballsy. So this was my bag of balls card, and I didn't really like how that was coming off the tongue. So this is supposed to be like, you know, when you were out and you saw the PE teacher bring out the bag of balls, it's like you didn't know what sport you were playing today. It's like, what one are we going to do? What ball am I going to get? You know, I hope it's not volleyball. Ugh, right? So I thought the word ballsy was probably more appropriate, and I have to be honest because I was reminded of the word ballsy in another person's read. And I was like, that's what I'm calling that card. My sister used the word ballsy a lot, and she also would call people a ball bag, meaning that they are just like a real jerk and they have no sense. We've got the electric shock. Maybe someone's going to be shocked about how ballsy someone is. Maybe someone's going to be super forward. And it's all about a house. Maybe someone's going to do this in order to make amends about something. This is the roadkill card. A house that was left. I was going to say left by the dead. So someone might have passed away and left a house. Maybe someone got, for lack of better words, ran over and didn't get the house that was left to them. Maybe it was ballsy about the roadkill. Maybe it's in a different place, somewhere where you would have to get on a plane to go to. Left for dead. Maybe someone left the country because of this house. Because they're realizing that whatever they did to get it, now they're being left for dead. So they're leaving the country or going far, far away on an airplane, away from the situation. Maybe there's going to be an electric situation happening in the house, and it's going to actually unalive somebody. Heck, maybe a plane is going to fly into somebody's house. We've got the monster with those full of anxiety. Someone being made out to be a monster, look like a monster, when in actuality it's probably just a misunderstanding if we're going to go based on this Frankenstein, because Frankenstein, in the show that I saw, he was a nice guy, and he was just often misunderstood, and just the way he looked, people just assumed that he was a certain way. I know as far as myself, people have a tendency to think that I am, I've been told, oh, you're quite intimidating. It's like, why? I'm super nice. Well, you just have this demeanor. It's like, well, maybe you should get to know people. Another example is back in the day when I would go out with my friend, she'd always, and I've said this before, she'd always ask me if I was okay, because I guess I had a really sad look on my face, like I was super bored. I'm always fine. I'm always happy. I'm always, I love being out and social and whatnot, even if I'm just standing there. So this monster is frustrated. Frustrated about this plane ride, frustrated about this house, frustrated about this connection. Maybe this monster wanted to bury something, wanted to bury this connection. I wish I had like I had a cute pointer. I had a cute pen with a gem on it, and I don't know where it is. But someone's frustrated about the connection that somebody has. We've got recidivism. Maybe someone's frustrated that they're going back to jail. The number 1 card, maybe they're going back to jail like tomorrow. Maybe they've tried to force someone to be quiet, the wrong one. Or maybe they're going back to jail because they were trying to force someone to be quiet. These are spectacles. Maybe they made a spectacle of themselves by trying to force someone to be quiet. Maybe someone is seeing the fact that someone was left. They're being forced to not say anything about this house. There's just one storm after another that they're dealing with. communication about it. Maybe there's going to be communication about a trip, about someone flying. Maybe you're going to see some kind of communication. Taking a peek. Looking through the keyhole, being a little nosy. Maybe you come across paperwork by being a little nosy. You get a broader view about something that is lost and found. Maybe you lost a house and now you found a house. Maybe you accidentally see that there's a tracker on something. It says GPS. This is like the compass. We've got the signal tower here. That's an air tag. That's a little tracker that, you know, someone could put like on someone's body or in their crown, on their tooth. This is the kind of tracker I think that can go in somebody's body or whatnot if you eat it. Those would be more kind of scientific and high dig kind of operations, right? We got Persephone. That was the lady who was kidnapped, and she was made to be the bride of the underworld. Queen of the underworld was kidnapped by Hades. Hades. I think that's why I stopped with the writing, because I was going to look it up, and then and then my ADD, I got distracted by something else. Hades, is that the word? Hades? As I'm like choking. Maybe someone's going to find out that they're the queen of the underworld and they didn't know. Certainly you would know if that was you, right? Definitely, it was like, it's a Beauty and the Beast kind of situation there. But someone's being taken away, brought back somewhere. Maybe they're getting maybe recidivism. I would imagine being in jail is kind of like a hellhole. If we're going to go with the whole sinkhole situation from the beginning. Caution tape, be mindful, respect the boundaries. Maybe it's a crime scene there. The heart wants what it wants. Maybe this person just can't help themselves. That's too bad. They're being forced not to say anything. Maybe they have these feelings and they're being forced that they can't even tell the person that they love that they really want to be with that person. And now they're in a pickle. And they're seeing that now. Because everyone else has left them in the middle of the road with nothing. They don't care. They just roll over this individual and they don't give a darn about them. And then they just expect everything just to go on their merry way. But now somebody's realizing, you know what? This is the person that I probably got myself involved in with. It's nothing but trouble. It's nothing but problems. It's always a headache. I feel like I'm a captive in my own home. Maybe there's like trust issues there. Maybe they have a tracker in their vehicle. Maybe the tracker isn't working and that's why they're frustrated. The grass is greener on the side you choose to water. I mean, there's no pickle there, right? I mean, that's common sense. Maybe someone thought the grass was greener somewhere else and that's where they went. And then now they're realizing, well, this grass is trash too. Well, if everywhere you go, the grass is trash, maybe it's something you're doing or not doing. I think there was a study done where men were all often like surprised when their marriage ended because they seriously thought everything was fine, when all along the woman was always explaining. I shouldn't say they were always explaining, but the women were voicing their concerns or issues, and maybe they got to a point where they stopped voicing their issues, and then so the guy just assumes that everything's fine now because she's not even mentioning the complaints anymore. And so when they get served with paperwork, I just want, to end the situation. They're surprised. Surprise! So in that case, it's important that you water your grass. Just because you get married doesn't mean that the friendship is supposed to stop. You're still supposed to be friends. If you didn't have a friendship before getting married, well, maybe that was the issue, and you need to work on that part of it. I mean, I'm sure people who stayed married for years and decades or whatnot had to put work on it. It wasn't just something that happened. We've got a snow globe. Someone is just thinking back about memories on something, getting sentimental, maybe about a time in a cabin, maybe when time was simpler, maybe during a time when they were in the outdoors with someone, maybe it was more relaxed with someone. Maybe when things were more natural. Music. I mean, I know it's a lot easier to create things when you are in a relaxed state. If you're all wound up, it's hard to create. Someone's going back to being, oh, look, when you're all wound up. Isn't that funny? Maybe it's a whole bunch of little things that add up together and it winds somebody up and it causes a problem. And then there's just arguments all the time. We've got a snake, winding up the snake. It just keeps growing bigger and bigger, shedding its skin, but it's still a snake. Maybe it's a fluff and fold. It's a pair. Two things that look identical, but they do different things. Maybe those are two individuals or two people. It's also the Gemini card. I mean, it's an appliance. You just use an appliance, right, for whatever purpose it serves. A visitor. Maybe someone's just a fluffer. I don't know if you guys can see the card down there, so sorry if you can't. And I can't see the comments, so I apologize for that too. And then the comments disappear, so I don't know what to say about that. So sorry. Maybe I'll be able to get set up one day where I can participate in the comments. So there's a welcomed visitor coming in here. Our outcome cards. Camp. Wow, we went from a cabin to camping. Real isolation for sure. We've got that sinkhole again. Maybe someone's really down in the dumps. Maybe they feel like they got the wind knocked out of them and they really got the rug pulled out from under them. Maybe someone took someone for everything they had. Someone's finding out some kind of information about something that happened. Umbrella. Maybe they're trying to protect someone from the elements, from the fallout, from whatever happened. Or maybe they want to be protected from all that. They're scrambling for cover. Remember, we were talking about someone was leaving in the flying somewhere because they were being left kind of like holding the bag, of so to speak. We've got the Russian roulette card there, roulette. Someone took a huge gamble, a life-altering gamble, and there's place settings. Someone's expected. Maybe someone's expected to take a big gamble. Showing up, ready to eat. We've got showing up and a visitor. A planned sit down, dishing the tea to be served. Someone could be getting served about some kind of, maybe someone needs to be a witness somewhere or a testimony somewhere, because we've got the recidivism there. Someone did something super ballsy and maybe has to do about a house, somebody's security. Traditional. Sometimes they don't even eat when they sit down at the table. If you're thinking about those reality dating shows, they don't even eat half the time. They just sit there at the table like they're having dinner, and they never did. Someone's being invited, a place for you to sit, assuming you'll be there, a setup, it's expected. So this huge gamble was a setup. Self-expression. Maybe there's going to be some kind of meal or dinner or a get-together or something where you think things are one way, but it turns out it's completely a different situation. They're going to say, you know what, it's just not working out. It's time for me to go. This is not a good situation for me. I've just got to, this is expressing yourself, right? Someone's expected to show up and express themselves, and maybe they haven't been. They're not watering their grass. It's like, how do you expect for anything to work out if you're not a part of the conversation? Well, that does say donor. I was saying, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, folks. But hello, it's like 4 a.m. I don't know why I felt like I needed to do this today. It's 4:48. It's almost 5 a.m. We've got peace. Someone just wants a peace of mind. They're so over this. They're so over the drama. They're over being followed. They're over feeling full of anxiety. They're over being made out to be the monster. They're frustrated because someone found their tracker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I only did 4 rows. Interesting. We've got the number 1 card and the caution tape being the center of the read. Maybe someone's the one. The one they keep going back to. Maybe you're the one, or someone's the one that they keep talking about and they keep going back to, and the person's just like, can you just be quiet? Maybe this person, yep, they keep talking about it. They keep seeing that they keep talking about this certain one. They felt like they lost this person. They found this person, then they lost this person. We have judgment, win. This is coming from left field. Something similar. The judgment's coming from left field from this. There's a hug. Someone needs a hug or something similar. They took a big chance with this person. They didn't water their grass. It wasn't going to work out anyway. You probably would have overwatered it and it wouldn't have been appreciated. American Condor. Something grounded in spirit. Someone's ballsy. Electric, a tower in the house. Being left to just... We've got tear. Judas came out. 12. With the whole judgment. That's a jury, folks. Twelve is also completion. Someone thinks that they're smart. Or maybe someone's making a smart judgment call on a Judas. Someone who's going to betray them or has betrayed them. They were surprised that they got betrayed. We've got a contract. A smear campaign was the contract, and the smear campaign failed. Non-disclosure agreement with the whole forcing someone to be quiet. Maybe that's the thing that's going to be showing up or being served. Exclusive. It's not an exclusive contract. It probably includes other people. It's causing someone to lose their wealth. It's their strategy for the family. And it has to do with a Leo. Either the Leo is getting served or the Leo is serving somebody's family. Maybe it's family involved. Maybe there's a Judas in the family. Maybe the Leo needs a hug or something similar. Strategy. They're trying to come up with some kind of strategy. Exclusive. An exclusive NDA. Maybe only one person, only sell the story one person. We did have that for sale over there with the integrity. Someone's inspired. Someone just wants peace, but they're being wound up. We've got sensitive here. I'm going to stop doing these cards because it seems like all the new cards without the sleeves are coming out, and I don't know if that's like accurate or not, even though it does kind of go with the story. Just saying. Whoa-zy, whoa. Things are falling apart. How did that get pushed up, I wonder? We've got Muse, Feather. Time is upside down, so time is running out, obviously. Cheese. Either it's who moved my cheese. Always time I see cheese, I always think of that. So it's cheese or dairy. Some people are lactose intolerant. Cheese is also could have something to do with finances. Cheese can be a smile. There's a wolf upside down. Maybe someone was a wolf and they're not a wolf anymore. Mr. or Ms. Suave, and then they've got this muse here. This person's really just a sensitive muse. Maybe it has something to do with someone without their clothes on. They're vulnerable. This house is progressively like getting smaller and smaller, right? Where you're laying your head. And maybe someone's losing their finances, like we were saying here. We've got the potato and the visitor here, a grounded visitor. Down to earth visitor. The root of the matter was a visitor. Maybe they were just visiting someone. and that was the root of the problem. We've got this plane to another location where you're going to have your snow globe. It's usually some kind of souvenir, or when the dust settles, then you'll able to see this situation a whole lot clearer. But the end card is that there is someone who is expected to do something. Maybe in this relationship, if it's a relationship where someone was not being trusted and so they felt like they had to track their system and they were being made to look like a monster and they weren't watering their grass, maybe this person stepped out on an individual and that's what created this lack of trust here. And this person keeps talking about the individual that they stepped out on with. And it's frustrating this person because it's like all they want to do is be able to live their life in peace. Maybe they had some kind of arrangement in their marriage. Like it works both ways. But somehow it's not anymore. Now it's just a lot of work. It's something that seriously just got bigger than they assumed. Maybe whatever purpose they served each other, now they've outgrown that purpose. And someone's changed their mind. All right, folks. That's the gist. Make it a great day. Take care. And I hope everyone makes good decisions, right? Bye.